And let me introduce Miss Susan. I think most of you met her the other night. Susan is from New Hampshire and visiting us. Let's see, she's done the beach today and the Golden Lion and had fish and chips. She did a bike ride. She's done some hiking, has not seen a gator, but did get a rattlesnake. So it's definitely been an experience. Sue has been with Pampered Chef, did we decide 15 years?
Yeah.
And the bottom line is she was like me, a totally live cooking show consultant, and had to go virtual last year. And so she's going to tell you how she did it. And then she's going to talk a little bit about bookings. And if you go back into our files, you'll find a file that Susan did a meeting with us once before, but it was before we all went virtual. So this time it might be just a little bit different about getting the booking. So with that being said, I'm going to stop talking and drink my wine, and we're going to let Susan talk.
Okay.
Take it away, darling.
Well, welcome everybody. So I was a live cooking show consultant for the first 7.5 years of my business. I did one show a month. Then after that, for the next 7.5, I did all live cooking shows, about 2 or 3 a week. So I did somewhere around 100 to 120 shows a year. And I did catalog shows. There's somebody that's not muted. Hang on. It says sauerkraut. Who's sauerkraut? There you go. So I did live cooking shows for the majority of my business. And then I was hearing this big to-do about virtual parties, and I tried them at first. I am non-tech savvy, so I really struggled. So I want all of you out there that are non-tech savvy to know that it's okay. Like, I didn't even have Facebook before I started Pampered Chef, so the whole virtual world was intimidating to me. But I figured if I was going to be a good leader, I needed to learn how to do it so that I could teach my team. So I did a few virtual parties. They weren't super successful at first, and I thought, oh, they're way too much work. I could just go, do a show, be done in a couple hours, and I'm done. But I Northeast, and we get snowstorms, and I didn't like the idea of having to shovel off my car and shovel up my walkway and having to drive to somebody's house and change out of boots and schlep all the stuff into somebody's house. And, you know, some shows are $800 or $900 or $1,500 shows, but other shows are still $200, $300, $400. And I thought to myself, do I really want to schlep around when other people are making a success at these virtual shows? And I was still iffy. So I tried again, some virtual shows. And again, I had moderate success. So I kind of put a pin on that for a little bit, and then fast forward, I went to, I think, a Hawaii trip, and I was on the bus and also at a table at one of the events there, and I was sitting there with a girl who had earned the Hawaii trip in like 6 months, and she was 100% virtual, and that really opened my eyes to the fact that I am missing a huge section of this business, and that I was not doing my team the service that they needed by not into this, just because it was hard for me. So I kind of, just like I did my other business, I kind of just got intense about it, and I thought, all right, let me figure out who these people are that are making it work and what they're doing. So it was a year ago, March, so I've only been doing virtual parties for a year, that I decided that I was going to go virtual. And so I got really intentional about it, and I started sending out, you know, the little guinea pig picture. I had somebody, if you know anybody, just post on your Facebook wall, does somebody have a real live guinea pig? Have them take a picture of a real guinea pig. That way you're not going to end up in Facebook jail. You guys really, really, really need original content photos. And there must be one of our friends that owns a guinea pig, right? So I had somebody that had a guinea pig. They took a picture of it, and then I created an image that said, oh, hey, I'm looking for some guinea pigs. I'm trying something new with Pampered Chef. I'd really love it if you guys would give a virtual party a try. And I started that. And I do have I have 2 videos that I did about how I got my business up and running. So I basically just started private messaging all my past all my past hosts, any old consultants on my team. And then if a past host said no from a party, I went to every guest in that party. go back to your parties last year and ask your hostess. And if they say, no, they're not interested in doing a party this year, then you go to the next person. You go, hey, Tammy, Lisa said that she doesn't have time to do a party this year. I thought you would want to get all the rewards. Last year, you got $240 and free half-price discounted products. How about we gather your friends together? I'll invite everybody that was at Lisa's party to your party, and we'll get you those rewards. So you're just going to go through everybody that's on that list. Now, just like live shows, you need to ask a lot of people to get the yeses. And with virtual parties, you need to plan on sales-wise, you probably need to do 2 virtual parties to every 1 live show, in my opinion. I know that they said that national average was a $450 show for virtual, and it's $650 for live, but I think we get a lot more cancellations or a lot more that don't qualify personally. So I would say the block parties, and again, just because it didn't work the first time you try something, you know, you guys, when we learn to walk and ride a bike, that doesn't mean that we're good at it right away, right? And I think that that is an important thing for you guys to remember. The first time I did block parties, they bombed. My averages, my weekly and monthly averages went down, and I was like, this is terrible. I'm going back to regular individual shows. But I was doing somewhere between 6 and 10 shows a week. So I was doing, you know, somewhere between 20 and 40 shows a month. And that is Facebook Jill worthy. So even when you're using Post My Party, and then I went to Facebook. So I really wanted to work smarter, not harder. I didn't want to be on my computer 24/7. And my family really was saying, you know, you work too much. You need to, you know, take weekends off. You need to not work every night. My husband's like, you know, I feel like I'm a widow. So I really needed to make office hours and get a little bit more organized. So I really went back to the people who were doing block parties again. And I listened to the Camiko and about how she's doing her block parties. And then if you guys look at the stats for Katie Hoschlicker, I can't even pronounce her name, but if you guys see, this girl does $20,000 to $25,000 a month. She does live and virtual shows. So when you're seeing that month after month after month after month after month after month after month, it is not an anomaly, people. It means that she is doing something right and that we need to look into that. So the key with that was she's doing block parties, and she's doing live shows, and she's doing shows during the day. So I remember, for those of you who have been around long enough to know Julie Aldridge, she said to me at one point, Sue, if you want to stop working weekends, then stop working weekends. And I was like, oh. She's like, if you do a show on a weekend, then the people that are at that show are going to want to come to a weekend show. If you want to work Monday through Friday, then start booking Monday through Friday, because guess what? They're at their friend's show on a Tuesday night or Thursday night. And so I started doing my shows Monday through Thursday, and I would have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I wouldn't do live shows. So again, I say to you, if you want to do block parties, I do block parties now. I put 5 hostesses in one party, and I will run up to 2 parties in the same week. So I can do 10 shows in 1 week's time. Now, are some shows a dud? Absolutely. So 10% of them are going to be duds. They won't hit the $200 mark. 10% of them are going to be really great. They're going to be 800, 1,000, 1,200, something like that. And everything else is going to be, the other 80% are going to be in the middle. So my top seller, Jen Mitchell, she is phenomenal. I just can't say enough about this girl. She is really, really a great consultant and a great leader. And she was hesitant to move to block parties, but she was doing, you know, 30 to 40 shows in order to create the income that she wanted. She quit her full-time job a year ago, and she's a single mom, and she needs a certain amount of income. So she needs to be doing that type of volume of sales, somewhere between, you know, 6,000 and 12,000 a month. Sometimes 20,000 is what she and I usually try to shoot for. So that type of volume, you need to do block parties, really. Otherwise, you're working yourself silly. So she tried block parties, same thing as me. She didn't have a lot of results. And then I said, Jen, try it again. It's all about host coaching. So I'm gonna touch base about that as well. So she tried it again, and in 1 week, she sold $6,000. So that let her know that it is totally possible to be super successful with virtual parties, and that it is all about host coaching. And so then we all went back to, what do we need to do? What's the key? What makes an exciting show? So here are some keys for you. First of all, you all probably know that you are asking your hostess to post something into their own party. So I'm going to screen share with you for a second, and I'm just going to pull up on my own computer. Excuse the mess. My desktop is a disaster. Okay, so I have a folder that says ask host and her friends to post this. And the reason I say her friends is because I asked my hostess to find two people, two of her friends, best friend, sister, mother, whatever, and have them, if they're willing to post into my party, have the hostess start a three-way chat with me and their friend. So that gives me 5 hostesses that are willing to post into the party, and I'll give them stuff. And then that gives me 10 guests if everybody does their job. And they don't, but let's say I just get 2 of them that do. That gives me 4 more people. That's 9 people that are going to be posting in my 3-day event. So what I do is I send the interactive catalog link to those guests, and I say, hey, Sally, take a peek at this catalog and give me 3 of your favorite wish list items. So I want to know what she really wants. Oh, she wants the rock, she wants the blender, and she wants a snack bar maker. Great. Guess what 3 photos she's posting this week? Those 3, and I give her words on what to say. Oh, Sue said this snack bar maker can be used in the oven and in the freezer and the fridge, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I give them the words. I want them to be posting. We all know that when they post, more people see it. The more people who are posting, the more Facebook opens the filter, which means that the people that are already in the party will actually get to see what's going on in the party. So it's super important that you have engagement going on in your party, because otherwise, for those of you who don't know and might be new watching this, the filter for Facebook gets choked out. It gets smaller and smaller. If you post, like, people always want recipes, right? But nobody comments on the recipe posts. So what happens is the second time you post a bunch of recipes, nobody's seeing them. So you need to let your hostesses know that right away. Everybody loves the recipes, but nobody comments on them. So it's really important that when I post a recipe, you not only comment on it, but you ask your friends, which of these 5 recipes do you think your family would eat? Because when you say that, they'll respond. So I create original photos like this. This is my dog, Gracie. I am trying to get work done, and she is always trying to put her head on my lap. And because my laptop was on my lap, she was on my laptop. So I'm never getting work done while my golden retriever is around. So people love to post pictures about their kids, about their pets, and about their food. So the next time you guys are cooking, I'm telling you, you need original content. Take a photo. Here's a stone, glazed and unglazed. Show me your last food photo you took. Just create your own. Like, next time you're cooking something, what's the last thing you cooked on your stone? These are stones. People often have stoneware. Did somebody have a question?
Oh, is it not enough time?
Did somebody have a question? I can, maybe they're just not muted. So what I want you to do is, in addition to creating, original content photos yourself, I want you to get your hostesses involved in engaging on the post. Then for bookings, you all know that we're supposed to be creating a relationship with our guests in the party. So, I'll show you one that I think is super important. And it's just literally take a chocolate Hershey's bar and a block of cheese and put them on your counter, or any type of chocolate, peanut M&Ms, whatever you got in your house. If you got chocolate, a bag of M&Ms or a bag of chocolate chips and a block of cheese, take a picture of that. This is one of my highest engagement photos. And I post and I say, if you had to give up one of these for life, which would it be? Chocolate or cheese? So everybody comments. Now the key is, this gets me the ability to show so many recipes and so many products. When they say they're giving up chocolate, I'm giving them a cheese recipe, and I'm giving it to them in the slow cooker stand, or I'm giving it to them on the Lazy Susan. I'm giving it to them on the chip and dip tray. If they say that they want chocolate for the rest of their life, I'm showing them the mini muffin pan. I'm showing them all kinds of chocolate recipes in products. So that one post, and you want to comment on you want to reply on every single person's comment. So is there anybody that's on this call currently that is a new consultant and has not been running virtual parties? I want you guys to unmute for just a quick second.
Me.
Okay, Bernadette, is that you?
Yeah, Yvonne.
Okay,
You call me Yvonne.
Yvonne. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I don't know if I can I was having a hard time getting Facebook to actually load before. I couldn't even share the link again. So if I can get Facebook to load, I'll pull up an old party and show you some examples of what I've got going. Oh, good, it did. Okay, so let me scroll back some into a post because I want to show you a couple of different things that are important to see. And I just want to get far enough down into. And FYI, you guys can go over to here to the left-hand side and click photos, and then you can scroll for a specific photo that you're looking for comments, etc. So I just wanted to go back. I usually do the cheese one pretty early on in the party. Or when you do guessing games, oh, here's the chocolate and cheese one. So we go into that chocolate and cheese one, and then let me go into the comments. So we had 31 comments, and it was seen by 66 people. Okay. Now, do you guys see how it was not seen by 38 right here? You can see how right here it shows seen by 66, not seen by 38. This is important. You want to take a screenshot of this to your hostesses. And one of the things that I do is I come down here and I start tagging these people. Hey, Becky, Crystal, Samantha, Heather, how about you guys? Would you give up chocolate or cheese? Hey, Jessica, Paula, Stephanie, and I'll name some of these people, you know, and I'll call them out on a tag, and you'll see that. And then you'll see here. So she says, I love chocolate, but I couldn't go without cheese. So now I go, no carbs here, keto friendly, and I post the Mexican cheese crisp with avocados. She says, hand down cheese. Again, this is a beautiful photo my daughter took. She's got great photography skills of our cheese boards when we had a wine, cheese, and chocolate party at our house. So every single person that has commented, I am posting a recipe for them. And it's a different recipe all the way through. Why am I doing this? I'm giving them something of value. Okay. And so the other thing is that you'll know that there are two ways that you can reply to people. Like you'll notice here, it just says like or reply. There's none of that message. And I know that Facebook has taken that message away in some of our Facebook things. So you need to be able to build a relationship and a rapport with people here. And you want to be asking questions to them as well. And what I mean by that is, like I take original photos. I bought this really beautiful butcher block from my pastor, and I've been eyeing it for like 20 years, no joke. And so he was going to give it to me for free. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna pay you for it. So I do all my stage. I don't cook on it, but I stage all my photos on it because it makes a great photo. And then I make posts here. But what you want to do is you want to be able to engage with your guests to have a conversation so that you can take the conversation offline. So Facebook is ever evolving. And even now they're evolving in the way that we can message them. Usually the word message pops up, and the way it was working all the way until March 4th was if you click that message bar, it would give a direct message into their inbox from your business page, and it would bypass their spam folder, and you could chat with them. And you would ask them a question that required a reply. Like, Wendy, thanks so much for being a part of our virtual party. Tell me, who is your hostess, and what one Pampered Chef product do you already own? I would love to send you a couple of great recipes. So that she's going to say, oh, Tammy's my hostess in the party, and I own some stoneware or something like that. Or, you know, just something that gets them to reply to you. Is this your first virtual party, or are you an old pro? Get some type of engagement. Now, March 4th, they changed some stuff. That message has gone away for a lot of us in a lot of our parties. So again, don't piss and moan. Don't be, oh, woe is me, I can't run this business. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, people, right? And there was a girl that had an $1,100 order on a show, not a show, an order for $1,100. Williams and Sonoma stock has gone up. Their sales went up 25% already. They are selling the same products we are selling, but we have warranties and we have great customer service with it. So there is no reason that our business should not be going up right now, people. I mean, it's like the guy who gets dropped off at an island, and one guy's, you know, they're both selling shoes, and one guy says, oh my God, there's no business here, nobody wears shoes. And the other guy on the other side of the island is, ship me a case of it, nobody's wearing shoes. I have shoes I can sell. It's all about how we approach our business. We need to be super excited about our business, and we need to be taking this as an opportunity, because guess what? People are now quarantined and they're home and they are cooking, and they need to know how to cook with stuff that's in their pantries. They need to know what to do with their darn kids that are normally at school 6 hours a day and now are underfoot. So we need to get them cooking recipes that take a while, or things that the kids can get involved in and stuff like that. There's going to be tons of things that we as consultants can help our customer base with. And it doesn't need to be all salesy. Honestly, people, this is the time to be compassionate, and this is the time to be giving back to your community. So for an example, I have a hostess, and I happen to be scrolling, and I'm not on Facebook very much this week because I'm on vacation. And so I was on Facebook and I scrolled and I saw her say, oh gosh, I think the flu has hit my house, and my 98-year-old grandfather has no visiting nurses and no Meals on Wheels. And I immediately private messaged her, and I'm like, where do you live? And she lives in my hometown. And I'm like, I'm not there right now, but let me see if I can find somebody who is nearby or come up with some solution. So I got back to her and I said, hey, there's 2 local restaurants. They do takeout. Maybe you can get him a couple meals from there. You know, when you're 98 years old, 1 meal will probably go 2 or 3 meals worth. And in the meantime, like, let's come up with some solutions. You know, the United Way in our local area, there's a local church that is putting together some meals for seniors. Like, there are things going on. I mean, I literally can walk to this guy's house when I finally get home. So I'll quarantine myself, but I'll cook up some food and make sure that the food is ready for people like that. I know Tammy was looking for ways to reach out to her community as well. That is what you want to be known for, because this is the stuff that will come back around when business starts picking up again, that people will start buying from you and not anybody. They will be loyal to you if you have helped them through this difficult time. So posting on, maybe even doing something like, okay, if you had hamburger, tortilla shells, and onions, other than fajitas, what would you guys make? You know, ask a question and then layer some ingredients and some recipes. I mean, there are sites that you can put in 5 or 6 different ingredients and it'll give you different recipes for. So we as a community of Pampered Chefers need to come up with these ideas on what people normally have as staples in their pantry and help them out. So now let's talk about how to get bookings from these shows. The most important way to get bookings from the show is really from your hostess, okay? If you have a great show, you can use that opportunity to send an email to everybody that was in the show. Do you guys know that when you go into a show, and I'll screen share again, for those who don't know, you go into a show, hold on, I gotta move you guys out of the way. Okay, so let's go into the show. So this is Dottie Carrier's show. Actually, let me go into one that's, here we go, one of my shows. If you go in under guest list and you click the guest list right here, you can highlight all the guests from the guest list and then you can email them, okay? And you can change this to say whatever you want it to say. So I do a thank you, but then I edit it and I say something like, you know, thanks so much for coming to Sally Sue's show. She just received, you know, that email, the after the show email that you can send to your hostess. They said that they were coming back with it. Let's see if they did it. And before the show template, after the show. Perfect. This is what I wanted, is that for them to be able to put in the actual amount. You've received X amount for free and half price and all of that. I actually take that information, and there's 2 things that I do with it. So the first thing I do with it is I text it to my hostess and I say, hey, Tammy, would you do me a favor? Will you post this on your personal private Facebook wall and tag my name in it and say, oh my God, I just got $278 worth of products for, you know, $26. If you guys want some great Pampered Chef products, you need to call my girl Sue. I give her all the words with the amounts, and I ask her to post it on her page and tag me. So now all her friends know that she just got a great show, and she's tagged my name so that they can find me easily, because there is another Sue Moulton Pampered Chef that lives in my state, right? Like 15 minutes from my house. In addition to that, you can send an email to all of the guests there, or you can text them. So I send an email to all of them right from there. Hey, Tammy, and it plugs in their name. I just wanted to let you know that Sally Sue got $40 worth of products, 5 half-price items, and a 60% off any item or any set she wanted. We had so much fun at her party. I am piloting, or I am trying out, or I just finished my new template called blah, 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 whatever you're doing. I would love to gather some of your friends with some new recipes, new tips, etc., and help you get the same free shopping spree. Would you like to host a show? Which of these theme shows do you think your friends would like best? Okay, so that's one way. Second way, you're going to have a host challenge. When we get 3 bookings from your show, you will get a bonus gift. You will get a prize. For every booking, you go into a raffle. Whatever you want to do, your hostess is your #1 person. Day 1 of the show, you want to start seeing who's commenting in the party. Those are your recruit leads and your host leads. And I would say, hey, Tammy, tell me, which of your friends that are in the party right now do you think are most likely to host a party with us? Would you be willing to reach out to them and just say to them, oh my God, Sue has made this so easy for me. I think that you should host a show too. What do you say? And start a 3-way chat with me. So those are all the type of conversations that you're going to want to have with your hostess as part of your host coaching. So we're in the middle of a pandemic, right? What are you guys doing to get business? I reached out to my hostesses and I was like, oh my God, we are going to have the most amazing show because everybody is home and we're all on social media. I'm expecting, you know, turnout to be triple what it normally is. I'm so happy for you guys. You guys are going to have the most amazing show ever. Now, are my attendance triple? Not yet, but I'm still working on it. So I'm like, hey, everybody's home. Let them know that I'm going to be doing kids in the kitchen ideas and I'm going to be doing cook from your pantry ideas. Now, I'm on vacation right now. Do I have those ideas in my head? No. I leave to go home on Saturday. I start my shows on Sunday. I will wing it. I have a template that will be running, and then I will wing something every day from my kitchen when I get home. And if I don't get home, I will wing it from wherever I'm at. Like, we just make it happen, right? We just cannot stress about these things. You can go Facebook Live, you can pull it off of the internet. There are all types of, you know, experiments to do with kids. There's virtual tours of museums that they can do. You want to be giving back to your community, not just food related but like solving problems for them. So I posted one today that I saw, which was like how to make bread, the easiest bread. It was like a naan bread. So again, you want to be working with your hostesses. You want to be challenging them to get the bookings for you. It needs to be part of your host coaching. And if you guys don't have a system for host coaching, I'm still tweaking mine, but I set alarms in my phone because I have ADD and I don't remember to do stuff. So then my phone rings and I go, oh, I'm supposed to be texting my hostess. So I've made it so easy that when the alarm goes off, it says, text this. Send them the photo of the coffee cups, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Like, when I first started this, it was like engagement posts and stuff. So I have all kinds of original engagement posts. So I would come in here and I would find, I don't know, maybe it would be the cookware one. So I took a picture of my dishwasher. Can your nonstick go in the dishwasher? And I was like, stoneware, cookware, stoneware. And I took pictures. So it might say, send the cookware picture to your hostesses with these words. So no matter where I am, I can grab it with my phone, copy it, and send it to my hostesses. It doesn't have to be a hard thing. You can just put it in your phone, and when the alarm goes off, you can do it. And by the way, another fun one is good. Engagement. Do you leave butter out on the counter, or does it belong in the fridge? Again, my counter, there's a little bit of Pampered Chef in the background, but it really has nothing to do with Pampered Chef. I probably should have had cold brew coffee in the background. But so have some questions and some engagement posts. That's where you're going to get people chatting. That's going to get the engagement in the party, which will open the filter up, which will give you an opportunity to have a conversation. And literally, it's just all about, are they having fun? So lots of games, lots of fun, talking to them personally. You know, what is your kitchen challenge? Are you cooking for kids? Are you cooking for 2 people? Do you have elderly that you're trying? Do you have, I love the minions. So my whole template is filled with little minion posts. So I have a picture of the minion post with that cooking hat, you know, chef's hat. And it's like, what are you cooking? Whole30, paleo, keto, you know, carb free? What do you need? You know, so ask your guests what they want and then give them a lot of what they want so that they're like, oh my God, that was the most informative one. Like when I did live shows, people would say to me, oh my gosh, that was the most informative Pampered Chef show I have ever been to. You are not only engaging, but I learned so much stuff about products that I already had. We need to have our virtual shows feel like that same experience. If you're home during the day, I am blessed beyond measure that I'm able to be home during the day. So my daughter jokes, she's down here. She just turned 22 while we're down here. And she had to move back home because she's going to nursing school. And she said, it's a little difficult living with mom again because at noon between 12 and 12:30 any given day, I tell her to pause whatever she's watching on TV or whatever she does. She has to be quiet because I'm on Facebook Live in the kitchen. And, you know, if you're cooking yourself lunch, it doesn't have to be a big deal. Clear off the kitchen space where the camera's going to be, put the manual food processor down there, throw an onion in and say, hey, I'm making some tuna fish. I'm chopping up onions and celery to go in it. Thought you might like to see the manual food processor. 1 or 2 minutes. You don't have to do a whole recipe. You can do one thing, a simple slicer. While we were down here at Kathy's, we were opening up wine and we were showing the wine opener in less than 1 minute. So now I have it on my phone that I can use in my parties. So we're all quarantine people. If you're home, start a bunch of really short tips and a bunch of really short videos. And if you don't know tips, go right online and Google cooking tips. And my other suggestion for you for things to put into your parties, is Google National Food Days. It's National Whipped Cream Day. It's National Popcorn Day. It's National whatever day. We all have a Pampered Chef tool that goes with that. Guess what? Create a template for the national days. I have it running each month into my VIP customer page so that something is running in there every month. So I don't have to pay attention to it. But those would be great things that if you put in your actual calendar, hey everyone, it's National Popcorn Day. You're probably home with your kids. Let's make some homemade popcorn that's chemical free and you can make it super easy. So do something like that. And I think that that will be helpful. Okay, so you guys can unmute. It's 8:30. Ask whatever you got for questions for me.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a virtual show, my first virtual show that's closing today, but she doesn't want anything. She doesn't want her money-free product. She said, I just did it to help you. And she made, I mean.
So here's what I would suggest. I would say, how about we use your free products and we buy a bunch of ceramic egg cookers to donate to the local nurses at the hospital that are working so hard. And then you make a big honkin' deal about that. Like, thank you to my hostess, Sarah Lee, who donated all of her host benefits to the local hospital. And if you can buy a box of oatmeal to go with it, I would bring that to the local hospital and maybe bring it into the emergency room. They're the ones that are getting the worst of it.
Well, she is an administrator of a nursing home.
Perfect. So say to her, you know what? We have been doing a lot of supporting for all of those people who are working so hard. How about we use your host benefits to use it up for all the ceramic egg cookers, and we do that because people at least will be able to make, and then show her chocolate mug cake, oatmeal, blueberry lemon coffee cake that Kathy made the other day, which I still haven't made. And then there's an avocado toast one. You know what I mean? And FYI, when you bring that in, maybe you offer to package it all up and bring it all in, like, and stuff like that. Have a mini catalog with your contact information on it. Use this as an outreach. Have the recipes, maybe 4 up on an 8.5 by 11 or on a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of paper, and have, have like, oatmeal if you have some, or stuff like that. And chocolate mug cake, by the way, if you can find, if you're at the grocery store and you can find angel food cake, you can do the angel food cakes. They're wicked easy. It's like water and angel food cake, and you can make individual cakes in those too. So just Google some of that stuff, and you can, I would recommend that, and then make a big deal of it on your Facebook page, tagging your hostess. And then you can use that for all the people that purchase. Like, oh my God, I am so thankful to Tammy, our hostess, who donated all of her rewards to the hardworking women of blah, 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 blah. Does anybody else want to do something like that? You know, to support your local EMTs, your support your police officers, and support your local hospitals. I'm running fundraisers right now.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Who else has a question for me? How are you guys doing getting bookings? You guys got any, you know, this is an open forum here. You guys got a suggestion that I'm not doing, or I didn't suggest, that you're like, oh, this is what's worked for me recently?
It's Lori. I'm wondering about when you said like do 5 shows at once. I still can't grasp that. I just, like Kathy has talked about it before, but I just can't seem to figure out how to do that.
Sure, let me show you. Let me shrink you out of the way so I can see where I'm at. Okay, so let's go into one of my shows. So starting on Sunday, when I get home, hopefully, I have some hostesses that are in here. I have 2 shows going. You'll see March 22nd, host group 2, and somewhere else is March 22nd, host group 1. Okay.
Are they all on the same page? Or are they separate page? They all separate.
I have 2 parties running. There are multiple hostesses in the same group: Melanie, Fran, Crystal, Tammy, and Susan. And I just sent them these photos, and I said, Melanie, if you would post on Sunday the breakfast scramble, Fran, the girl with the Girl Scouts, Crystal, blah, 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 blah. So I gave them their first posts on what I want them to post for an engagement post on Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
So you sent a private message to them all together in one grouping.
Yes. So this is my host coaching to them. So one of the things that's important to do is I host coach them individually at first. Like, and by the way, when I moved to block parties, by the way, people are like, oh, I really want an individual party. Again, if you don't want to do individual parties, then stop doing individual parties. Just like if you don't want to work weekends, stop working weekends. The first transition is a little bit hard. I had one lady that was like, my friends don't want to be in a group with other people, blah, blah, blah. And so again, we are pitching what we want. Oh my gosh, Kathy, let me tell you why you want to be part of a block party. Facebook has an algorithm, and it proves that when more people engage in the party, that more people that are in the party will see it. So if you have 20 people or 30 people in your group and only 2 people engage, they're going to see 1 in 20 of my posts. But if you're in a party with other hostesses and 2 from your group and 5 from her group and 3 from her group and 6 from her group all engage, more of your friends are going to see the posts that I make, which means more sales for you. And again, studies have shown, that should be your favorite line. Studies have shown that block parties produce higher sales results because they have better engagement. And I'll show you again. I always tell people you need to not only tell your host what you want, but then you need to tell them why. Okay, so I have what I call seen or not seen post. So what that means is I say to them, it is super important that you help me have people post in your party, not just you. And then I say, this is why we want to have a few of your friends be the first to comment so others will see the post. Seen by 2, not seen by 37. I prove my point by a screenshot of what's happening. So I coach them, do this, then I go, this is why. And then I do the same thing. Do this, this is why. So this is 97 people saw this, 26 people commented on it. When a hostess posts something versus when I post it. So I have the same photo in a different show when I posted it versus when a hostess posts it. This is why I need you to post, because when you post, more people will see it. So you tell them what you want, then you tell them why you want them to do that. And I have more, you know, seen and not seen and again, and I explain why I do that. So,
Thank you.
you're
When
welcome. And so the same thing with block parties. So like I always introduce them and I say, hey, this is a group chat, big letters. Do not reply to this group chat. Many of you work full-time jobs during the week. We do not want to be blowing up your cell phones. This is the location that I will be giving you your posts daily for. So most of my original conversations and host coaching are one-on-one with them. And then I put them into a group chat. And I'm like, hey, meet your neighbors. Anybody else?
when you set that up,
Mm-hmm.
you set them up separately.
The parties? Nope. Nope. I set up one Facebook group. I invite all 5 of my hostesses to the same group. I make them the admin of the group. And the reason you want to make them an admin of your group is so that they can go into the members and they can see how many people are invited. Do you guys know how to do that?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that they're an admin so that they can come in and see how many people have been invited to the groups. Like we have 208. And then I actually do a Zoom video and I teach them how to go in and send a reminder to their guests. I'm like, this is what you want to be doing. You want to go in and send a reminder to all of your guests here. Oh, it's not letting me send a reminder. Interesting. Maybe somebody already did a reminder to her. Maybe there's a new Facebook thing. Everybody had said that one of the problems is that Facebook sent everybody home, and so the computers handle the volume. So there's going to be some glitches, people. Go live. If all else fails, go live. And
So-
for those people who are afraid to go live, just point the camera to your fingers.
But how do those hostesses get, when people order, does it go to
Perfect.
just
Look at the group chat here. The group chat, I have a thing called Linktree, and Linktree is free. And I'll screen share. And if you guys aren't using text replacement, you totally need to use text replacement. It's so amazing. So text replacement is you can create anything in your keyboard here of your computer or of your cell phone. And so anytime I type any of these here, this pops up. So words that you say all the time, you definitely should be using. So I'll use Linktree. So you'll notice right here, it says order link for your host and the interactive catalog that turns pages like you're holding it. And I put the Linktree here. And then, so I might come in here and say, hey, while you are waiting for our party to start on Sunday, check out the catalog and let me know what's on your wish list. So wish list, so I can get you some recipes and tips to go with it. And then I just go LT for Linktree, and it goes like that, and it populates that link. And so I like GIFs, so let's do wish list.
It says star instead of start, Sue.
Oh, thank you. I love Tammy. She's so good at taking and I also have random, my daughter drives my daughter crazy. I have random capitalizations. I'm like, they feel lonely. I want that. No, that'll be good. All right. So, so let me show you what Linktree is. I just learned about this and it's pretty great. Linktree is a place that you can put all of your links together and they can just look them alphabetically. So I always start with the catalog link, create a wish list, my master recipe list, and then it's my hostesses alphabetically down here. So I just have to post the Linktree and all of this posts. And the other thing I need to do is I need to put the host special and the guest special in for the month. And that's it. So they can go, and once I've closed a show, I just come and delete it. So I don't have to tell everybody's link. I don't have to put them all up in the about section, all of that. I just have to, throughout the party, keep plugging this Linktree thing occasionally. So that's pretty helpful.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, when I learned about that, and they said that so far Facebook hasn't like caught on that that's a thing. So you can plug Linktree link in there, and I haven't had any problems with Facebook. Yeah.
But when it comes to their order, like, how do you know which host gets, you know?
They look it up alphabetically. They click that Linktree, and then I always say, and find your host alphabetically. I mean, once they click that link, they're going to see it says catalog link, wish list link, and then it just starts people's names. They're going to search for their hostess.
Okay,
Yvonne,
great.
you are
Yeah.
setting up separate parties in Pampered Chef.
That's what I was.
Yeah, so you're gonna have
Yeah.
like 5 different parties, one for Amy, one for Sue, one for Kathy, and one for John. So
Right.
you do have 4 or 5 parties set up, and that's where those links go for your block party.
Right.
Oh, okay, got it. That's what I was.
Yeah. So there's one Facebook group for 5 hostesses, but on your Pampered Chef website, each one has their own individual party.
Got it. Okay, I'm sorry. I was so
Yeah,
confused.
nope, that's fine.
All right,
I give
thank you.
that individual host link to my hostesses as well. And I always give them the interactive link, but it's so much easier to just give them the Linktree link too.
Great.
Yep. So any questions about how to get bookings, where to get bookings, who to ask, how to get your people to engage with you in your parties? Anything I can help you with?
Well, I wanted to do what you're just talking about, the block party, but with teachers. My husband's a school teacher, but I could go to like a kindergarten teacher and a first grade teacher and a 6th grade teacher and do block parties like that. So how would I approach that? Just say,
You would approach it just like you'd approach anybody for a party, and
okay,
you don't need to tell them that they're going to be in a block party or that they're going to be with other teachers, because they don't have to be with other teachers. You can just say, oh my gosh, you are the type of person, I mean, teachers are going to be great. You guys are home. I know that you guys are super busy. I would love to partner with you for some great ideas on keeping the kids sharp during this time that they're home. I know math skills are super important with cooking, you know, 1 cup, a 1/4 cup. Do you have some things that might be helpful? We could do a party together, and we could partner together to do some type of teaching in the midst of a Pampered Chef party, and we can get you some great products in the process.
okay, cool.
Okay,
You.
you're welcome.
I'm so glad we're taping this so we can go back in and,
Absolutely. Well, Susan doesn't know,
and
but she just,
redo this because there's so much.
yeah, I just wrote down a few things like, all right, we got to do this tomorrow, because Susan has been great being here, and just, you know, every time we come, she'll show me how to do this and this and that, and how we finally figured out how to put my, I have this contraption for video in, so we put it on my microwave. I mean, one time we tried it on the sink, then I did it on the microwave, so
It looked good. It worked nice. It was just weird for me to look at everything backwards.
Yeah.
It was so strange. I'm like looking like, where is she?
So I can teach you how to flip her camera so that it's not backwards. I'm going to teach you how to do
I
that.
did. It's just she's looking at it differently than when I usually do it.
Okay, gotcha.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we are going. Susan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I said, hey, Susan, if you come down and teach a few classes, you can write off your trip.
Yes. I'm like, great. I'm writing off this entire trip. And I told my daughter, get stuck in Florida somewhere. We'll probably have to go get an Airbnb, because poor Jack, I mean, he's been so patient with us. I said, but if I have to get stuck anywhere, I think Florida is kind of a nice place to be stuck. I said, but I'm going to actually have to work next week. I've worked a couple days this week, but not much. I've been doing a lot of vacationing. So, but the beaches officially got closed down here today. So
Good thing you went today.
time to go home.
All right, guys, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll see you guys later.
Okay, thank you.